Hello and welcome to this remote control quick tip. Now this quick tip is actually more about managing all of your SD cards and your mini SD cards that you end up in the bag when you get back from your flying day. If you're anything like me, you end up with loads of different little SD cards from things like the goggles, the run cams, the GoPros, the Mobius cameras, and it's fun to get all of the footage back on the PC, edit it up and kind of share it with your friends. But it's a bit of a nightmare keeping track of which SD card goes in which, particularly with the really small SD cards because it's tricky to write on those. So I always make sure that when I plug an SD card in, it shows me exactly where it's come from. So if I just plug in another SD card here so it appears, then I know that that is the one that's come from my Dominator goggles. I know that this is the one I need to plug back into my Runcam 3. Now this always impresses the heck out of people when they see this. This is a tip for Windows. I'm not a Mac user, so I don't know how you would do this on a Mac, but I'm just going to very quickly show you how you get this on your SD card so that when you plug it in, you get these kind of little pictures and you also get the name as well. Now I'm just going to plug in a brand new card that hasn't got any of this cool stuff done on it. Just plug that guy in and that is how it normally appears. On this one it just appears with that rather terrible icon just because you're using an external SD card reader. But we can very quickly and easily sort this out. There is only a couple of things that you're going to need. You're going to need a couple of files. This is one of them. It's called autorun.inf. These files here that I'm actually talking about, I'll put a link in the description to a zip file so you can download them so you don't have to make them from scratch. And you need the icon that you're going to use. The other thing you're going to use is a real cool little bit of software called autorun. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've been using this for donkey's years and it's fantastic. It's a little free image editor and I cannot recommend it highly enough. If you're looking to do stuff and play around and make things like icons, which is what we're about to do, this is a great way to do it. So if you haven't got this on your PC already, then I would download either 32-bit or the 64-bit version because that's what we're going to use to get this all working. Now, first of all, we need the picture that we're going to use. Now, we'll assume that we're going to add this onto something like a Mobius camera. So we need a Mobius image. So we're just going to search using good old Google for a Mobius camera. And ideally we want something that's reasonably square. That one looks pretty good. I'd double check there isn't any copyright on something. If we save that image, let's just pop it on the desktop for now. Okay, and then what we're going to do is let's open autorun. Fantastic. And let's drag that image into it. There we go. Now, first of all, I'm just going to crop this to a box. And on the top, you can see the numbers changing. I want the horizontal and vertical numbers to be the same. So at the moment, there we go. That'll work. And we'll go edit, crop to selection, image, resize, resample, and we just want to make that 64, and that's the reason we need a square because it needs to be 64 by 64. There we are. Then we're going to save it as an icon. So we're going to call it something that we'll remember. Mobius is probably going to make sense. Save it as an icon. We're going to put it onto the memory card. If we just go up, there's that memory card we're interested in. Let's just whack it on there. Save it as an icon. Click save. That's the hard part done. Get rid of that. So now on this thing we have the icon. The other thing we need to do then is have this autorun.inf file, and again you can download these couple of files. I'll include the Mobius thing I'm just making here as well in case you want to use that. If you just double click autorun, then it'll open up, and all autorun.inf has in it is autorun, the icon name of the icon file that you want it to display when you plug it in. That needs to be Mobius. And the name that you want appearing, and again it can be uppercase, lowercase, like that. There we go. Fantastic. Do you want to save it? Yes, we do. I'm going to copy that into the root directory of the J drive again. So now that's what it looks like. If I unplug that card and then plug it back in, this time, there it is. We can now see it's called Mobius camera, and it's got our little picture as well. Fantastic. The last thing I would do is just select those two files, right click, go to properties, make sure they're read only and hidden. That way you can't see them. And now you have it all set up. So that's the little trick. What you need to do is you need to have two files in the root directory of the drive that you're interested in. This is the one we've just done. Autorun needs to have two things. One is the name of the icon file that we've just created with AirFanView, and the other one is the name that you want to appear. If those are both in the root directory, I would ideally make sure that they are read-only and hidden, so you can't delete them and you can't see them normally. That means that whenever you plug things in, they automatically appear with the icon of the device that you've got to plug them back into, and it's dead easy to keep track of everything. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video. We try and release at least 2 videos a week, usually a quick tip on a Tuesday and a more in-depth video on a Friday, and sometimes we manage to get a few more out as well. If you're interested in radio control, then the playlists are useful to have a look at. Anything that's called Introduction to is an organised set of videos that teach you from first principles about the subject that you're interested in. But we also have information about the majority of popular open source flight controllers, how to build quadcopters, fixed wing models, reviews, setups, unboxing, all kinds of things in here as well. So if you haven't already had a look at the playlist, then I'd recommend going and have a look through here to see if there's anything that takes your fancy. Finally, we do also provide updates through things like Twitter, Instagram, and also post all of our 3D designs on Thingiverse as well. So if you like what we're doing here on YouTube, have a look at those things and subscribe to us there, and you'll find out what we're up to in advance of the videos coming out here on the channel.